This is verse 6 of the 18th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. The disciples had asked the question about who would be the greatest, who would have the best political appointments in the kingdom, and Jesus turns the discussion on its head, first by indicating that, and he places a little child among them. The one that receives such a little child is actually receiving Christ. And of course standing not just for little children per se, although that's certainly the principal focus, but anyone that's, you might say, simple in their faith. He sets that in contrast now in verse 6 to the one who would cause such a little one or a vulnerable one to stumble. So we have host, the relative pronoun on from ean, but whoever, postpositive das. So again, same construction as we had in the previous verse, whoever. Skandalise, from skandalizo, it means to cause to stumble, to cause to offend, is the idea to scandalize, third person singular, aorist active, subjunctive going from the on here, so whoever scandalizes. Hina, this is the masculine of the adjective one, so one, ton mikron, of the little ones, then adding demonstrative pronoun these little ones, whoever scandalizes one of these little ones, and then further describing a ton pistuon ton, the believing eis in me, the believing in me ones. So whoever causes to stumble one of these vulnerable ones, we might say, whether a child or someone else, weak in faith, who might be led astray, such a one, he says, sum fere, from sun pharaoh. Pharaoh means to carry, the sun together. Taken together, idiomatically, it means to expedite. And from that, the idea it would be preferable or better. With respect to anyone who would cause such a scandal, he says it would be better, or it is better, is the idea. This is third person singular, present active indicative. It would be better, auto, with reference to him, the dative singular masculine, hina, that, and then this takes the subjunctive, kremosthe. This is from kremonumi. It means to hang something. It would be better if it were hung. This is the third person singular aorist passive in subjunctive. It would be better if it were hanged. And then mulos, the word from which we get the word mill, the mill, and then onikos. This taken together is a millstone. The onikos is actually from onos, which means a donkey or an ass in the old King James. So this is the kind of thing that could only be moved by a donkey in the mill. So taken together, it means a millstone, and that's the way it's commonly rendered in English. So it'd be better for one if it were hung, a millstone. Peri, around, ton, trachealon. Trachea, of course, comes from this, refers to the neck, about or around the neck, out to of him. Kai and kata pontisthe. Kata means down. The pontisthe is from Pontos, actually. It was a region in which there was water, and it commonly stood for the idea of abundant water. And so kata pontisthe means being pushed down. In te palage. Palage is the word for depth, something like the word abyss, plunged into the deep, the abyss or depth, tastes the laces of the sea. Rather graphic description here from Jesus that one who would cause a vulnerable one or a little one to be led astray, to be scandalized, to be injured in their faith. It'd be better for them to preempt the entire thing by suffering the most horrific kind of death, as opposed to being guilty of committing such a crime. Execution by drowning was not known to the Jewish law or in the Jewish world as far as we know, but it certainly was commonly practiced for some of the worst kinds of crimes in surrounding nations. And so Jesus here appealing to one of the most dreadful forms of execution that he can imagine in order to drive home the force of the point he's making.